thing that is demonized in narcissistic family is cutting off toxic family members. So going no contact with toxic relative is considered, a betrayal in narcissistic family. Yeah, the narcissistic parent will turn the situation around and blame you for the family discord, portraying you as the villain for simply protecting, your mental peace and well-being. Yeah, so if you are cutting off, relationship, if you're going no contact with, family member, your narcissistic parent, your narcissistic sister or in-law or whatever. I mean, if you are, cutting off, the toxic family members, from your life, they are going to label you as the bad one, as the villain. Yeah, someone who's selfish, mean, who doesn't, value family and family relationship, who's just all by himself or herself, who's all self-absorbed. They are going to, throw all kinds of label. And this is, hey everyone, I hope everyone is doing good and taking good care of themselves. So today I'm going to talk about, the different things that are demonized in narcissistic families. And before I get going, I would request you all to like, share, subscribe the channel, hit the notification bell so you guys are updated whenever we put out a new content. So in narcissistic families, anything that challenges, the control or the image of the narcissistic parent is often ridiculed or condemned. Yeah. And these families basically prioritize the narcissist's needs and desire, leading to a very weird, choking, suffocating, toxic environment where individuality and personal boundaries are constantly undermined. Yeah. And this video is about the things, I mean, normal things, healthy things, which is demonized in narcissistic families. Anything that they are unable to control, anything that they are unable to manipulate, anything that they are unable to have a supply from is demonized. They are going to torment you. They are going to tell you that there's something wrong, you need to do more, you are an inconvenience, you are worthless. Yeah, I'm not getting what I was expecting out of you. Yeah. And narcissistic parents are pretty vocal about these things. Now coming to the different things that are demonized in narcissistic family. The first thing is being single. So the narcissistic family views being single as a failure or an indication that something is wrong with you. So if you want to be single, if you want to take time, that's going to hurt them. Yeah, they want to project a certain image in front of the others, and that image is of a happy family, a family that's thriving, flourishing, everyone is happy, everyone is married, everyone is having their spouse, everyone is procreating, having children. Yeah. So it literally threatens these narcissistic parents, and they hate when their children choose to remain single, or when if the child avoids marriage, they hate it. Yeah, because they want the family to look in a specific way. And marriage is an important part. I mean, if you get married, it's good, I will feel good and I will have more sources of supply. But if you choose not to get married, I'm unable to exercise control on the others. I'm just left with you. I need more toys to play with. I need more minions. I need more slaves and servants on whom I can exercise control and harvest supply out of. Yeah. So it really threatens these narcissistic parents when you decide to be single, or when you delay your marriage, or when you know um, opt for divorce or separation. It really hurts them. Yeah, because they want to project a happy family. Everyone is happy, everyone is married, everyone is thriving, everyone is having children, everything is so good, everything is so amazing. Even though there is no emotional compatibility, even though there is no equal reciprocity, even though there is no happiness, there is no love, hardly matters. Image is important for these narcissistic parents. The other thing that is demonized in narcissistic family is being child free. So choosing not to have children is met with criticism, as narcissistic parents often see grandchildren as tools to fulfill their own desires, for attention, control, or legacy. So your decision, to be child free is viewed as selfish and irresponsible. So they are going to tell you are selfish, you're horrible, God said that you need to get married and breed. And why are they pressuring you to procreate and have children? Because they want more labor, they want more sources of supply, they want more servants, with whom they can play dirty and get away saying, I'm your grandfather, I'm your grandmother. So these narcissistic parents hate when their children choose to be child free. They will criticize you, they will tell you this and that. They're going to use religion, they are going to summon their flying monkeys, other relatives, their enablers, and they're going to pressurize you into starting a family, into having children, even though you're not capable, even though you're not able, even though you are not confident. They will push you into it. And basically they need more servants, basically they need more slaves, yeah, who could serve them, yeah, someone who can give them attention, someone who will allow them to control them, someone who will carry on with the legacy and all that bullshit. They don't want you to get into relationship and start family for healthy reasons. First they will push you into relationship, yeah, because they want more sources of supply. Once you get into relationship, they'll push you to have children, yeah. And I mean, in most of the cases I have seen these narcissistic parents pushing their golden child or their children to have sons over daughter, yeah. So if you choose to remain child free, it's like a threat, it's like a red flag for these narcissistic parents. They need more sources of supply. So if you are single, they are not getting any supply sources, they are not getting any toys to play with. If you are child free, they are not getting any toys to play with, they are not getting any punch bag, any emotional toilet. The other thing that is demonized in narcissistic family is your authenticity. I mean, your likes, sexuality, orientation. So in narcissistic families, any deviation from what is expected, whether it's your hobbies, interests, or sexual orientation, likes, preference, is heavily criticized. You are expected to conform to their version of what's acceptable and what's normal. Yeah, anything apart from that is an abomination. It's sin. You cannot be a gay, you cannot be a lesbian, you cannot be a transgender, you cannot be you know uh, someone who just chooses to be single. You just cannot be yourself. You need to like specific colors, you need to like specific foods, you need to only wear clothes which they approve of, yeah. So they will set the entire protocol, and you need to be in that box. You cannot think out of the box, you cannot go out of the box, yeah. And if you try and do things which is out of the box, which is not suggested, prescribed, or allowed, or which is permissible, then they are going to come at you and make your life hell, yeah. So in narcissistic families, your authenticity, your likes, dislikes, orientation, preference, whatever it is, it's not appreciated, yeah. It's demonized. You need to be a version that they approve of, you need to be a version that serves them. That's all. The other thing that is demonized in narcissistic family is privacy. So boundaries, including privacy, are seen as acts of, rebellion. Any attempt to keep your thoughts, I mean, to yourself, or emotions or personal life, private, is met with suspicion, guilt tripping, or manipulation. So if you are keeping things to yourself, if you are not telling them what you're going to do next, they hate it, because they want to control every aspect of your life. They want to micromanage every aspect of your life. So when you use boundary, when you demand privacy, space, and all of these things, it's like a red flag. They feel that they are losing control, and then they start guilt tripping you, they start shaming you, they start manipulating you, and they start telling you that now you want to keep things private. I mean, we are your parent, we are your well wishers, and you didn't even tell me. You are not keeping things to yourself, you're not sharing with me. And all of it is basically to know your next move, and then they are going to, come up with a better plan to ruin your plan, your agenda, your, planning. Yeah. So they don't want you to control any aspect of your life. They want to be the controllers. Yeah. So it's all about them. They bred you for return. Yeah. So when they see that you're using boundary, privacy, they feel that you're going off hook. They feel that they might lose control over you. Yeah. So they will barge into every aspect of your life. They will barge into every area that they should not. They will interfere. They will give unsolicited advices, and so they are going to basically poke their nose in all the areas which they are not supposed to poke their nose. Yeah. And this is because they feel entitled. I gave birth to you, so you're not allowed to have anything called private, or you're not allowed to use any kind of boundary. You need to tell me anything and everything. Yeah. Only if I know everything about you, it'll be easier for me to control you, manipulate you, and extort things out of you. If you're keeping things to yourself, I might not be able to control you 100%. Yeah. So this is how things are in narcissistic families. They hate privacy, boundary, space. The other thing that is demonized in narcissistic family is emotional independence. So narcissistic parents need their children to remain emotionally dependent, codependent on them. Yeah. So if you seek emotional independence, or if you grow beyond their control, they will label you as selfish, ungrateful, or distant, you know uh, to guilt you into submission. Yeah. So if you are emotionally independent, if you are able to regulate yourself, if you are managing yourself well and not relying on them, that's like a threat. Yeah. And they perceive it as a threat, a red flag, and then they will throw all kinds of nasty labels at you. You're being ungrateful, you're being selfish, you're not telling me this, you're not telling me that. Why are you keeping things to yourself? You should tell me, how are you feeling about things? Yeah. And only then I'll be able to control you and ruin your life, and extort things out of you. So whenever they see that you're becoming emotionally independent, that's like a red flag. They want you to be emotionally dependent on them. They want you to be codependent. They want you to be dependent on them for anything and everything. Yeah. And then they will decide what needs to be given to you. The other thing that is demonized in narcissistic family is cutting off toxic family members. So going no contact with toxic relative is considered a betrayal in narcissistic family. Yeah. The narcissistic parent will turn the situation around and blame you for the family discord, portraying you as the villain for simply protecting your mental peace and well-being. Yeah. So if you are cutting off relationship, if you're going no contact with family member, your narcissistic parent, your narcissistic sister or in-law or whatever. I mean, if you are cutting off the toxic family members from your life, they are going to label you as the bad one, as the villain. Yeah. Someone who's selfish, mean, who doesn't value family and family relationship, who's just all by himself or herself, who's all self-absorbed. They are going to throw all kinds of label, and this is basically to portray you as the villain. So if you're prioritizing your health, your mental peace, and if you are cutting toxic people out from your life, they are going to portray you as the villain. Yeah. The problem is with you. See, we are together, we are happy, you are the bad one. You used us and you left us. You left the family. You did not follow the family tradition. You are the bad one. You are under wrong influence. Yeah. So ending relationship with toxic family member is an abomination. You have to suffer in silence, keep the relationship going, carry on that relationship, even though it's eating you on the inside, it's draining you, it's choking you, hardly matters. What matters is that you keep the relationship, you keep playing along, and that's it, even though it's taking a toll on your mental health and your well-being. So these narcissistic parents are really messed up individuals, and they are literally into demonizing the healthy thing. I mean, ideally in a healthy family, if you don't feel good with someone, you can leave. that's absolutely okay and normal. It's okay if you want to, cut off your relationship, if you want to cut off, toxic family members. That's absolutely okay. If you want to go no contact, I appreciate that, and it's absolutely fine. But in narcissistic families, you cannot leave the narcissistic parent, you cannot leave other narcissistic family members. You have to, be with them, you have to play along, and you have to suffer in silence. Yeah, the other thing that is demonized in narcissistic family is success and happiness. So achieving personal success or happiness outside the family dynamic can make the narcissistic parent feel threatened or envious. Yeah, your accomplishment may be minimized, dismissed or used, to create guilt, as they need to remain the center of attention. So these narcissistic parents are going to demonize your happiness, your celebration, your success if it's not including them. They're going to tell you, you are so selfish, I suffered this and this, I did this and that, and now you are all happy, in your own life, you're enjoying without us, you don't even care about us, this and that. They're going to guilt trip you, and this is basically to, keep themselves as the center of, the attention in your life. Yeah, if you are happy without them, that's a problem for them. If you are happy with your family, with your wife, with your kids, that's a problem for them. If you're, successful in whatever you are doing, but you're not including them, that's also a problem for them. Yeah, so they want to be the center of the universe, they want to be the center of, attention in their kids life. Yeah, so a kid's happiness and success, which is outside of the family dynamic, will never be appreciated. Yeah, instead they are going to minimize, criticize, shame, and, dismiss, your success. They are going to tell you, well, you are enjoying, and, you hardly care about us, you have forgotten about our sacrifices, you're just busy in your own life with your husband, with your wife, with your kids. So they are going to do all sorts of nasty things to shift your attention, back onto them. So yeah, they just want to be the center of attention in their kids life. And the last thing that is demonized in narcissistic families is setting boundaries. So narcissistic families despise, when their children or other, members assert boundaries, whether it's saying no to demands or standing up for yourself. You are often punished with guilt or manipulation, tactics for having the audacity to prioritize your own needs. Yeah, so if you're prioritizing your own needs, your well-being, you are selfish, you're bad. Yeah, they're going to guilt trip you if you say no, or if you refuse, or if you simply say that I won't be able to do this for you. They hate it. Refusal, no, setting boundaries is like a red flag for them. Yeah, I mean, they perceive it as a threat. They see that you are going off hook, they might lose their supply source, and then, they will punish you, for setting boundaries. If you are, using space, boundary, privacy, they are going to, punish you. Yeah, and this is basically to tell you that prioritizing your own needs, wants, and requirement is bad. Yeah, it's being selfish. You should prioritize us, yeah, and not yourself. Yeah, so, these are, some of the, good things, that is, appreciated and encouraged in healthy families, but are, demonized in narcissistic families by these narcissistic parents. In case if you would like to add in something, you can always comment below. Till then, take care of yourself. Lots of love and blessings to all of you. Bye.